What's up, everybody? It is Matt Modi with OddsJam, and for this video, you know the drill, 4 more NBA player props for you guys. I've had an incredible week so far. This is only with 2 days of betting, up almost $1,000, up about $900. Been doing really well with some player props, although I went 2 and 2 on these specific videos yesterday. My written articles did really well, so make sure to check out the links in the description. You'll see the one of the first links is going to be just to our NBA blog, our NBA page with listing all of our NBA written content. Make sure to check that out. What I've been using, so this what you see on the screen here, I've been using the OddsJam Platinum plan to make all these bets, to find all these bets, and to make all these profits. I really suggest that you also get on the Platinum plan. So what I want you to do is just send us an email, contact@oddsjam.com. We can teach you how you can make $2,500 a month, specifically betting using the Platinum plan. Like I said, just for 1 week, I'm up over almost $1,000. That's only with 2 days of betting. Obviously, there are going to be some highs and lows, as you see, but overall, you can get those numbers up. So email us, contact@oddsjam.com. You see it exactly on the screen here. So getting into it, like I said, I have four player props. They're all positive expected value bets, and that's what's been incredibly profitable for me. So up almost $7,000 betting positive EV. So like I said, send us an email, contact@oddsjam.com, and we'll get you set up. So for this video, I'm going to show you how I found these player props, why I like them both from a math and from a basketball perspective as well. But what I want you to do before I get started, aside from checking out the link in the description and aside from sending us an email, we'd really appreciate if you could just like the video, comment on it, your feedback, and click that plus button, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. Helps us out a ton. We got a lot of really good content for the NBA playoffs, for the MLB season starting. NHL playoffs are starting soon. And then, of course, just a bunch of other regular betting education, betting advice, betting tutorial videos as well. So click that plus button on the OddsJam YouTube channel, and it would help you out a lot as a sports bettor. So getting into it, like I said, every single bet I place has positive expected value associated with it. So this first bet, I am backing Joel Embiid to go over 3.5 assists. So that play is down here at plus 168. I absolutely love this play. So you can see the over is heavily juiced over 2.5. Juiced to the point where I don't think it's worth betting, but I do love getting him to go over 3.5 and record 4 total assists. So I like this for basketball reasons. Toronto is one of the most aggressive teams in doubling Embiid. They're complaining a lot about all the fouls he's drawing. So my guess is they're going to continue to double him, and he's going to pass out to open shooters, Danny Green, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris for some assists. So I absolutely love this play. I got it at plus 168 on FanDuel. As you can see on the screenshot here, it's already locked in. What I'm doing now is just adding this to my bet tracker. So I put 45 on this one, again, as you see on the screenshot. Click save. So what I do now, it's added to my bet tracker. So Joel Embiid over 3.5 assists. So the OddsJam bet tracker is something that is completely free to use. So you don't need to put down a card or anything like that. You just need to go to the OddsJam website, bet tracker, bets, and there you go. It's an incredibly helpful tool. As a sports bettor, you really need to understand what your profit and losses are. So all this information you see on my home screen, this is taken directly from the bet tracker. So I really can't recommend it enough. There are 2 things specifically that I absolutely love about it. Number one is it tells you whether your bet is red or green in terms of whether it beat the closing line or didn't beat the closing line. The closing line value is just the no vig odds from the OddsJam perfect line. I'll talk about that in just a couple minutes, but I like it because like I said, it tells you whether you're currently beating the closing line or not. Green equals good, red equals bad. Of course, just because your bet is green doesn't mean it's going to win. Like here's a green bet, 2 green bets that lost, and just because you have a bet that's red doesn't mean it's going to lose. Here's a red bet that won. But what it does mean is you can track how often you're beating the closing line. Like I'm up at about little over 73%. That's pretty good. The way I've been able to beat the closing line so often is using the tools and the advice and the strategies that I'm talking about in this video. So if your beating closing line number is lower than this, if it's lower, I would say lower than 50% is a real red flag. get it, red flag, red, not beating closing line, then you should look into your betting history. You should look into your strategy and see what you're doing right, see what you're doing wrong. The second thing I love about the bet tracker, it auto grades your bets for you. So all the pending bets that I'm adding, the pending bets that you already saw on the screen, OddsJam will mark those as won or lost. So you don't need to go in. I'm locking a bunch of positive expected value bets as the day goes on. OddsJam will mark those as won or lost for me, which is just really helpful. Saves me a bunch of time. So the first play, Embiid over 3.5 assists. Next up, I'm backing Brook Lopez to go over 1.5 made 3-pointers. So this is a positive expected value bet. The OddsJam perfect line, which is pulled from the sharpest sportsbook in the world, prices the over at -103. The under is priced at -129. So the first thing we need to do with this information is we need to calculate the market width. Market width is just a way for the OddsJam perfect line to signify confidence in what they're pricing the line. The lower the numbers, the better. The higher the numbers, the worse. Another concept, pretty easy to understand. Low equals good, high, big equals bad. So 32 cents is what this one's going to be. Two minuses, you just add the two numbers together. 29 plus 3 equals 32. If it's a plus and a minus, like you see here, you just subtract the two numbers. So 155 minus 115 would be 40 cents in market width. Obviously, we're only calculating it based on the OddsJam perfect line. And for a player prop, anything that is 40 cents and below is fair game. So 32 cents here, that's well within range. That's perfect. So what we need to do now that we calculate the market width, we know it's within range, is we need to remove the VIG. So the VIG, also known as the juice, is essentially the tax that sportsbooks price the odds of their actual plays themselves. So they don't charge a transaction fee. So, I can place this bet on DraftKings. I won't get charged for the transaction. But what sportsbooks do is they juice up the odds a little bit so they can accept bets on both sides from hundreds of thousands of people for millions of dollars. And no matter what happens, they'll profit because of how the odds are juiced. So what we need to do is remove that juice, remove that VIG, find out what the perfect line, or find out what the true no VIG fair odds are for this play. And the way you do that, it's fairly simple. You go to the OddsJam, just go to OddsJam. We have a no VIG fair odds calculator, and you just type in what the two numbers are here. So it was -103, it was -129, puts the true line of this play at +11 and -11 each way. So that way we know the OddsJam perfect line gives this the true line of +111. And we got it all the way up at +120 on DraftKings. So that way I know it's a positive expected value bet. I also like it because FanDuel, PointsBet have it pretty significantly lower. So there is a little bit of a discrepancy here with DraftKings. So I put $50 on this one. Of course, need to remember adding it to my bet tracker. $50, I already locked it in, as you can see on the screenshot here. Brook Lopez over 1.5 made 3-pointers, and this, of course, is in the Milwaukee Bucks versus Chicago Bulls game. Next up, I got a play in the Celtics versus Nets, and I'm backing Kevin Durant to go over 29.5 points. So this one is a little bit riskier in terms of basketball reasons. He hasn't gone over this in his last 3 games, but it was rare. I looked at all of Kevin Durant's games this year. It was rare that he went over 3 or 4 games without scoring 30 points. So with the Nets down 1-0, with Kyrie going off in game 1, maybe he's a little bit colder in game 2, and this is a game where Kevin Durant steps up. I actually already locked this in at -108 odds, but it's such a good value that I'm getting it again at -118. So again, it's positive expected value, -158. You subtract that from 120 as to calculate the market width. That gives us 38 cents, which is within range. And if we want to remove the VIG, we just put in those two numbers. So OddsJam perfect line prices it at -158. Other side is at +120. So let's remove the VIG. It was -158 and it was +120. Puts the true line of this bet at -134, and we're getting it all the way down at -118. So represents insane value on this bet that we found on the OddsJam positive expected value page, confirmed on the odds page as well. And this odds page, you see that I'm going through where it lists all the different sports books and all the different lines. This page is free as well, so you can go to oddsjam.com, just navigate to sports, NBA, click your game, and you can have access to this. But for this bet, I put $75 on it. And lastly, I got a McSlam for you in the Toronto Raptors versus Philadelphia 76ers game. And I am surprisingly, if you know me at all, I am backing Tobias Harris to go over 15.5 points. So Tobias has quietly been awesome. 2 games into the series, he's shooting catch and shoot threes. He's attacking the basket. He hasn't been a total sieve defensively. And this, getting it at plus 110 on PointsBet represents insane value. So I know it's positive EV because I got it from the positive EV page. You guys know how to remove the VIG, so I won't do that again. The market width is 30 cents because you just do 122. You do 22 plus 8, 30 cents. But look at the difference among every other sportsbook and where we're getting it at PointsBet. So OddsJam Perfect Line prices it at minus 108. DraftKings minus 115. Caesars minus 110. BetRivers minus 108. BetMGM minus 110. A little bit closer, FanDuel and WinBet at minus 102 and minus 105, but still and really pretty significantly below the plus 110 number we're getting. So this is another way I like to identify positive expected value bets, is just to find a bet where you're getting an insane discrepancy amongst the sports books, which we're getting here on PointsBet. So I absolutely mix-slammed this one. I put, not 1,200, I put $100 on it. As you can see, locked it in on the screenshot here. Tobias Harris over 15.5 points, adding to Bet Tracker, saved, good to go. And that's all I got for you. So again, I would recommend checking out all of our written work. These are just specifically player props. We've got a ton of articles. We got a game preview for every single game going on. We got best bets for those games. So check out the written work in the it's the first link you'll see in the description. Other than that, I mentioned it at the beginning. I'll mention it again. Email us, contact@oddsjam.com. Learn how to make $2,500 a month using OddsJam. I would also appreciate if you could like the video, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, provide some comments, provide your feedback. I love to hear all that stuff. But as far as this video goes, that's all I got for you. So load these player props and have a good one.